Hello. So today I wanted to talk about something that happened on social media. That seems to be the jumping off point for every video I've posted, but that's okay. So on social media, I posted a screen capture of a tweet. The tweet was from the account at Guess I'm AFAB, like assigned female at birth, at Guess I'm AFAB. She tweeted, "I was not assigned a sex at birth. I am the sex that I am, and it was observed at birth by the doctor who delivered me. If I was assigned anything, it was a role in life where I was expected to fit the stereotypes, parameters, and norms that society has about people of my sex." So pretty excellent tweet. I posted that on social media. And then I got a DM from someone who I don't know, I've never interacted with before, but who follows me clearly. And they said, just casually disseminating ideology from radfems now. This social media account is not explicitly feminist or radical in nature. It's pretty neutral, but I do pepper in some radical stuff here and there. Anyway, so yeah, no one following me would necessarily know that I am a radical feminist. But yeah, they called me out for it. Just casually disseminating ideology from radfems now. And what really got to me about that is like the tweet itself, the OP didn't, she wasn't talking about anyone but herself. She used the words my, me, mine, my life, my sex, I, and so she didn't say anything like women are, women do, women have. It was entirely singular about herself, and it drove me nuts, and it also speaks so much to the power of, the trans cult brainwashing, that there was no consideration, no thought about what they read. They just picked out the few words of wrongthink there, and they sounded the alarm. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It's so strange. I don't know what somebody could possibly find negative about that woman talking about her own sex and how it has societally defined like her own life against her own will. Because it wasn't about people as a whole. She was literally talking about herself. And so it just, it spoke to how powerful the cult is, I guess, because there's nothing negative in that tweet. That woman can't speak her own mind about her own self. And the reaction was, how dare she? Women can't speak about ourselves even. We can't talk about our own lives. We can't talk about our own experiences. Even we're not talking about women as a whole. We're not generalizing. We're not saying women do this, women are that. When we're talking about our own selves, it's shocking. Like, you're immediately called out for being transphobic, and there's nothing even transphobic really about that quote at all anyway. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just kind of rambling on, and I mean, my channel is called Radical Ramblings, so I guess that's on brand. But it's shocking to me, I guess, sometimes that people are so quick to call you out for wrongthink, and we can't talk about even our own specific singular life experiences without being dragged as terfs and transphobes. And I'm not going to reply to this person. I'm just going to delete the message, because there's no way you'll ever get anywhere with these kind of people. But yeah, I remember another time on social media, on Instagram, this woman who, she's a body positive activist, I guess. And so anyway, she had posted herself in an outfit where she was wearing denim overalls, but they were shorts. And like I had left a comment like, oh my gosh, like how do you wear that and deal with the chub rub of your thighs like rubbing together, because it's like unbearable. And somebody had commented back like, you should use talcum powder on your thighs to stop the chafing. And then another person replied like, no, talcum powder is bad for ovary havers because it can cause ovary cancer. And I replied to that comment saying like, if someone ever called me an ovary haver, I would be so pissed off. Like, how dehumanizing. And the same person replied, did you forget trans people exist? And I replied, no. Did you see where I used the word me? If someone called me an ovary haver, I would be mad. Me? Like, it's so ridiculous. You can't even talk about yourself without people freaking the fuck out. And I don't really know how to combat it or where to go from here. It's like, yeah, they want to silence women from even talking about their own specific selves, not in the context of women as a whole, not generalizing women as a whole, not lumping women together. Just your own personal individual experience is, capital B, bad, because I don't know why. Just because. It's ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. Another thing that really annoyed me about that message I got as well was the approach, to just come at me and be like, just casually disseminating rad femme ideology. What do you hope to achieve with that? If you really believe that what you believe in and is the way forward, if you believe that something like that was transphobic or whatever, why is that the approach? That condescending, rude, she literally typed out at the end, HMMM. I don't understand how you hope to achieve anything with an approach like that to somebody who maybe I was just completely in the dark about that. Maybe I was totally ignorant to what their point of view was. Maybe I had no idea that some people would consider that sort of thing transphobic, and maybe I would have been open to what she had to say and been like, oh my gosh, I didn't know. But with an approach like that, who is ever going to listen to you or to want to have a good faith conversation when you come at them in that way? It was so aggressive and so just condescending, and we can't interact as adults here or have a respectful discussion. She very easily could have, I'm maybe misgendering her, oh my god. She very easily could have been like, hey, I saw you posted that tweet. Did you know that these kinds of words or this way of phrasing it may come across transphobic, or some people think blah, 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 blah. You very easily could have approached it like that. And, I don't know, the aggression, I think the idea is not at all to really educate anyone or bring anyone into what you believe. I really don't think that's the goal at all. I think it's just be as condescending, be as rude, be as attacking, be as cruel as possible. I don't know what the end goal is though. What is the goal with that approach? What is the goal? What do you want to happen? What do you hope will happen? What do you think will happen if you treat everybody in that way? And I made a video about how I'm not about being gentle and kind and hand holding all the time. So I get that, but I would never be that outright aggressive to somebody. I would just never do that. I definitely believe that sometimes you have to be tough and you have to be stern and whatever, but to jump off the bat with that tone is a little strange to me. I don't know what the goal is, and I certainly don't think that with that kind of a approach you'll meet your goal, because people are not going to be receptive to that tone. It's so silly it's just so silly. But yeah, okay, that's all for now. This was a two-parter, so I had this thought after I already stopped recording the last one. But yeah, okay, that's all. Bye-bye.